Welcome to Copilot Podcasts. You know those breadsticks, right? The ones that have launched 1,000 memes and probably about 1,000,000 food comas. Today, we're diving deep into the phenomenon that is Olive Garden, serving over 320 million meals every year and shaping how America thinks about Italian dining. By the end of this episode, you'll understand how this restaurant giant is evolving, from its famous unlimited breadsticks to its surprising sustainability initiatives. And it's quite a transformation they're going through. The latest numbers are actually pretty impressive.
Oh yeah? Hit me with those numbers.
Well, just in their last quarter, Olive Garden's same restaurant sales grew by 6.9%. That's their fastest growth in 2 years.
Wait, really? In this economy?
Yeah, and here's what's fascinating. They're actually attracting a whole new demographic through their delivery service.
Tell me more about that.
So they partnered with Uber for delivery, and these delivery customers tend to be younger and have higher incomes than their traditional dine-in guests. Plus, they're ordering more frequently.
That's really interesting. They're basically capturing two different markets.
Exactly. And get this, delivery orders are typically about 20% larger than traditional takeout orders.
You know what's kind of funny? It reminds me of that scene in Austin Powers where Dr. Evil demands $1 million as ransom.
Oh yeah?
Well, it was supposed to be this astronomical sum, but now it barely buys you a decent house in most cities. Kind of like how our perception of restaurant prices has changed over time.
Speaking of changes, let's talk about their menu evolution. They've really had to balance their traditional offerings with changing consumer preferences.
Yeah, what are some of the biggest changes they've made?
Well, they've actually committed to offering more nutritious options while keeping their classic dishes. Their nutrition information is pretty transparent too.
Got any specific examples?
Take their herb grilled salmon. It's just 610 calories with 45 grams of protein. Compare that to something like their tour of Italy at 1,550 calories.
But they still have those unlimited breadsticks, right?
Oh, absolutely. You know, those breadsticks have become such a cultural phenomenon. They're practically their own social media category at this point.
And each one is 140 calories of pure joy, according to their nutrition info.
But what's really interesting is how they're balancing these beloved traditions with modern sustainability initiatives.
Oh yeah, I saw something about that. They're doing quite a bit on the environmental front, aren't they?
They really are. Since 2008, their sustainability efforts have saved them about $25 million.
That's impressive. What kind of initiatives are we talking about?
Well, they've invested heavily in LED lighting in their kitchens and dining rooms, which has reduced energy use by 12% in their Olive Garden restaurants.
And I heard they're doing something with their buildings too.
Yes, they've been pursuing LEED certification for new restaurants. By 2012, they had 13 newly built restaurants either certified or pursuing certification.
That's actually pretty forward-thinking for a restaurant chain.
It is. And they're expecting to save an additional $10 to $12 million by 2026 through these initiatives.
So they're basically proving that sustainability can be good for business too.
Exactly. But let's talk about their digital transformation. That's where things get really interesting.
What's happening there?
Well, their off-premise sales grew by nearly 20% over last year, including delivery, catering, and curbside pickup.
That's a pretty significant shift.
And here's what's fascinating. Delivery now makes up about 3.5% of their total sales, with very minimal overlap between delivery and dine-in customers.
So they're basically expanding their customer base without cannibalizing their existing one?
Precisely. And analysts are predicting this could add several $100 million to their sales.
That's pretty impressive for a company that started in 1982.
Yeah, and speaking of their history, it's interesting how they've maintained their core identity while evolving.
What do you mean by that?
Well, they still emphasize that family-style dining experience they're known for, but they're adapting it for modern consumers.
Right, like with their unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks.
Exactly. But now they're also focusing on things like food sourcing and sustainability.
It's kind of like they're growing up with their customer base.
That's a great way to put it. And they're doing it while maintaining their value proposition.
What do you mean by that?
Well, they've kept their pricing below inflation for several years, which has helped attract more budget-conscious consumers.
That's probably especially important right now.
Definitely. And it's working. Their same-store sales are expected to rise 2% to 3.5% in fiscal 2026.
So what do you think the future holds for Olive Garden?
Well, they're clearly focused on balancing tradition with innovation.
How so?
They're maintaining their core offerings while expanding into new territories like delivery and sustainability. It's a delicate balance.
And they seem to be pulling it off pretty well.
They are. Their latest numbers definitely support that.
Any challenges you see on the horizon?
Well, they'll need to keep innovating while maintaining their identity as a value-focused, family-friendly restaurant.
That's not always easy to do.
No, but they've shown they can adapt while staying true to their roots.
So, when you step back from all this, what's the big takeaway?
I think it's that success in the restaurant industry isn't just about the food, it's about evolving with your customers while staying true to your core values.
And Olive Garden seems to be doing just that.
Exactly. They're proving that you can teach an old restaurant new tricks.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode of Copilot Podcasts. Remember, folks, whether it's through sustainable practices or digital innovation, even the most traditional businesses can find ways to stay relevant. And hey, those breadsticks aren't going anywhere.